You can do an introduction from 5, 4, 3.
This information is information that I received in meditation from the creator of the universe. When I say the creator of the universe, I'm talking about a form of intelligence. Intelligence is the only entity in the universe that has all motion and all creative ability. God is a form of intelligence. Everything in the universe is an entity with a purpose that it serves. Each grain of sand is separate one from the other. Every tree, every atom, proton, neutron, or electron is one individual form. If the Creator told every human being on the planet Earth that they can earn $1 billion, if they can show anything created by the Creator that does not exist in a variety or isn't an entity with the purpose that it serves, nobody can get one dime. Intelligence is a separate form. Its purpose is to be able to reason, think, make a decision, create a vision or an idea. That is what God is able to do. Intelligence is the only entity in the universe that has all motion and all creative ability. God had answered every question that I had in my mind. I had one question left, and this is the question that I asked that intelligence that governed the entire universe. I said, Father, I know you created the heavens and the earth, but how did you get your existence? Where did you come from? And I received the answer, and this answer is what I will share with you. There are two facts that must be understood before I begin. Fact one, everything that is made up of a variety of entities must begin from one of those entities first. For example, there was one man and woman before a variety of them got their existence. There was one animal, one bird. It has to be one action before a variety of these things can get their existence. So, if the Creator said, show me something that is made up of a variety of things, but did not begin from one of those things first, I'll give you $1 billion. Nobody get one dime. Now, the second fact that must be understood is this. There's an opposite to everything. There's a male, female, right, left, up, down, space, matter, motion, stillness, awareness, unawareness. If the Creator said everyone can earn $1 trillion, if you can show anything in the universe that does not have an opposite, nobody gets one dime. This is what I like about these facts. They are totally profound. And these facts are true throughout the universe. You can go anywhere in the universe and everything would be an entity. You can go anywhere in the universe and you will find that there's an opposite to everything. The Creator showed me that there are 7 different forms this entire universe is made up of. When we break the universe down to its lowest terms, you come up with 7 different entities. One is nothing, which is darkness. Nothing is the foundation of all creation. Remember, this universe is made up of a variety of things. So it has to start from one first. because everything that is made up of a variety of entities must begin from one of those entities first. And this is the fact that you must remember. The second entity is space. Space is just room for matter to occupy. The third entity to exist is intelligence. Intelligence is the only entity in the universe that has the ability to reason, think, make a decision, or create a vision. 4, 5, 6, and 7 is earth, air, fire, and water. Earth is the different solids in everything. Air is the different gases in everything. Fire is a different amount of heat within everything. Water is the different moistures or liquids in everything. The Creator showed me that out of these 7 different forms, nothing, space, intelligence, earth, air, fire, and water, one of them had to exist before the other. Do you agree with that? I do. The only thing that can exist without something willing it to exist is nothing. I'll prove that to you. The action of willing for a creation to exist must always exist before the creation itself. This is a 360-degree fact that the Creator gave me to help me understand that what I'm about to say or explain is totally true. Before the Creator created the sun, the moon, and the stars, they just didn't pop up on their own. They just didn't manifest on their own. He willed for them to be, and then they came into existence. Everything made by man or woman got here after man and woman willed for them to be. So, if the Creator said, you can get $1 billion if you could show me a creation created or made by any living thing in the universe that got here before that living thing willed for it to be, nobody get one dime. Now, everything in the universe is an entity. That means the action of willing for something to be is one individual action. So when we put these 2 facts together, it spells out the fact that the action of willing is a separate action, has its own purpose, and its only purpose is to make things manifest or materialize. So when we put these 2 facts together, it shows that no creation exist that's created or made by any living thing until that living thing will for it to be. So out of nothing, space, intelligence, earth, air, fire, and water, one of them had to exist without anything willing for it to be. The only thing that can exist without something willing it for it to be at first is nothing, which is darkness. Darkness is the first entity to exist in the universe. Scientists say that this universe is constantly expanding every second. The reason why is because darkness, which is nothing, is giving off its opposite, which is space. To prove that space or room had to exist second, without space or room, intelligence, earth, air, fire, and water would not have a place to be. Matter cannot exist without space. I'm quite sure that some of you who are listening to this information know that this universe is constantly expanding. But the scientists could not find out why. In 1999, I built a website called 360facts.com. And I put this same information on the website. And it shows that nothing, which is darkness, has to give off its opposite, which is space. And this is why the universe is constantly expanding. Now, like I said, space had to exist second. This is what the Creator revealed to me. Without space, matter cannot have a place to exist. So intelligence, which is electrical, magnetic form of energy, it is the only, in other words, it's a living, creating form of energy. Energy occupies space. So space existed before intelligence. Doesn't that make sense? Without space, matter cannot have a place to be. A spirit form cannot exist without space. I had never thought of that before, but it makes perfectly clear sense to me. That nothing has to give off its opposite, which is space. Because nothing is the first thing that's here. It's the only thing that actually can create anything. If it's the only thing here, it's the only thing responsible for actually starting creation off. So nothing had to give off its opposite, which is space. Space has to give off its opposite, which is matter. Now, scientists say they can see new forms of matter being formed into the universe at the rate of 7 million tons a second. 7 million tons a second. They say it appears to be coming out of nowhere, just appearing. Just appearing. But they couldn't figure out why. But the only reason why is because space is giving off its opposite, which is matter. Now, this matter couldn't have any motion nor creative ability at first. And what convinced me of it is the fact that the Creator gave me. This is the fact that God gave me. Motion and stillness are two different entities. Stillness is something that doesn't move. Motion is movement. Out of motion and stillness, one has to exist before the other. Now, stillness always exists before motion. If God said, show me something that has motion now, that didn't begin from a still point first, nobody get one dime if he offered them $1 billion to do so. So, when nothing gave off its opposite, which was space, space gave off its opposite, which was matter. This matter couldn't have any motion nor creative ability at first, because all motion and all creation must start from a still point. Stillness always exists before motion. Now, this matter, with no motion of its own, has to repel its opposite within itself. The opposite of matter with no motion and no creative ability is matter with all motion and all creative ability. The only thing in the universe that has all motion and all creative ability is intelligence. That's God. That's the only entity in the universe that's able to reason, think, or make a decision, or even create a vision, a form of intelligence. That's what our spirit is. And this is how God showed me spirits are born into the universe. Now, this intelligence, which is a spirit form, had to repel its opposite, or create its opposite. The opposite of matter with all motion and all creative ability of its own, according to the thing this universe is made up of, is matter with no motion and creative ability of its own. Earth, which is the solids in everything, didn't give itself its own motion and creative ability. Air, which is the gases in everything created, didn't give itself its own motions or creative ability. Fire, which is heat, different amount of heat within everything, didn't give itself its own motion and creative ability. Water, which is the moistures or liquids in everything, did not give itself its own motion nor creative ability. They are ideas. They are visions created by that entity that has all motion and all creative ability, which is intelligence. Then that intelligence took those 4 elements and made many things from. then placed a part of itself, which is a form of intelligence, which is spirit form, within it, that everything that he created. Now, let's look at this again to make it perfectly clear. Nothing gave off its opposite or repelled its opposite, which is space. Space had to exist second, simply because without space, intelligence, earth, air, fire, and water wouldn't have a place to exist. Then space had to give off its opposite, which is matter. It's very simple. Now this matter couldn't have any motion nor creative ability at first, simply because all motion and all creation must start from a still point. Now, this matter had to repel its opposite within itself, which is matter with all motion and all creative ability. Then this matter with all motion and all creative ability had to repel its opposite. According to the thing this universe is made up of, is matter with no motion and creative ability of its own, which is earth, air, fire, and water, and made many things from those four elements, put a part of itself in everything that it made, and that's how the universe manifested from nothing into what it is now. Now here's something interesting. Let's subtract. Let's subtract ideas or visions from the scenario. You wouldn't have no men, no women, no animals, no trees, no birds, no atoms, protons, neutrons, or electrons. Anything that's basically made of earth, air, fire, and water, or made from visions or ideas, wouldn't exist. So you will have no earth, no air, no fire, and no water. So we have three entities left. Nothing, which is the foundation of all creation. Space, which is room for matter to occupy. Intelligence, which is the only entity in the universe that has the ability to reason, think, make a decision, create a vision or an idea. Now, here's the amazing thing. Let's subtract space from the scenario. Space or room. Intelligence would not have a place to exist. So we are all the way back to nothing, which is the foundation of all creation, which is darkness. All things that exist in a variety must begin from one of them first. Out of all these colors that exist in the universe, there was one color. And that first color to exist was black, darkness. So this is the answer that was given to me when I asked God to show me how he got his existence. And it was revealed, as you can see, with total 360-degree physics. 360-degree fact applied to 360-degree fact. This is John Shaw, well known as Elder 360 and Crying Shame, bringing you the highest wisdom in the universe. I hope you enjoyed it, and may God's good vibrations be upon you to attract his wisdom, knowledge, love, understanding, peace, money, guidance, protection, and help. Thank you very much for listening. And one thing I want you to do, I want you to try and find something wrong with this. Because the more you seek for something wrong, you will definitely see how right it is. This is your brother, working hard and smart to help free all people from physical, mental, spiritual, and financial slavery. Thank you for listening. Peace.